you guys, guess who's back? Hey, back again. Hey, Barca's back. Hey, tell your friends. But seriously though, Barcelona are back to top of La Liga after beating Levante 3-0 at the Camp Nou in a total sensational performance that included a man of the match performance from Joao Cancelo, a rare sighting of goal, and a 10/10 performance from Frenkie de Jong, another goal from Marc Bernal, and a golazo from Femi Lopez. And let's not forget a clean sheet for Joao Garcia. And we have to talk about all of these things. But first, if this is your first time coming across one of my videos, hi guys, I am Just Max, and on this channel I talk about football from La Liga to the Prem, UCL, and all of that good stuff. And as always, it's going to be Vizca Barca for me because I am a Barca fan. So if you're a culé or if this is something that you're interested in, please stick around, be my friend, be my homie. I would definitely like to grow this channel with you and of course talk football. But let's dive into it because Barcelona were coming off back-to-back losses from Atletico Madrid to Girona, so we actually have to respond after Real Madrid gave us a golden opportunity when they lost yesterday to Osasuna 2-1 in Pamplona. So we knew that this game we had to come out rocking, and the team that Hansi Flick put on the pitch, let me tell you, when I saw one person's name on the list, I was like, Hansi Flick, are you sure? But as always, every time I ask him that question, I do end up coming here to tell you guys that there's a reason he's the coach and I'm just a chick on YouTube. So let's look at the lineup, shall we? It was Joao Garcia in goal, and I am so happy for him. He got his clean sheet today. Jules Koundé in right back, sensational. Eric Garcia and Gerard Martin were the centre back pairing. We didn't get to see Pau Kubasi today, which is okay because Pau Kubasi has played a lot of games this season already. Joao Cancelo was the name that I was like, are we sure? But let me tell you, Joao Cancelo ate, and we're going to have to talk about him especially in this video. Frenkie de Jong, Marc Bernal, and Dani Olmo were Barcelona's midfield. And when I tell you that this game was almost as if to say, strikers get out of the way because the midfield isn't in charge, I promise you that's what it was. And then of course the right hand side for Barcelona, it was Lamine Yamal. Center forward, it was Robert Lewandowski and my man Rafinha completing Barcelona's striking trio. And when I tell you that Barcelona started out with a bang, I mean, okay, wait, let's be honest. There was that 1 minute opportunity for Levante to take the scoring, but that was about it. Because after that minute, we reset, we take it to Levante. It was sensational stuff. Everything from Joao Cancelo today, oh my goodness. Now let me tell you something. I was not one of the people who was in support of Joao Cancelo's second coming back to Barcelona, and it was not because I did not know that Joao Cancelo was a quality player. Going forward, Joao Cancelo is the player that any manager wants. He's able to dribble, he's able to put in crosses and all of that good stuff. The problem is going backward. The problem is in defense, you know. And a game like today, I felt like it suited Joao Cancelo very, very well because Levante, they did not offer anything going, you know, the other way. So he did not have to spend a lot of time worrying about defending as he could, you know, contribute to the attack. That Barcelona's left-hand side was very potent. I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you. I felt like he did better as a winger than Rafinha. I mean, Rafinha did do well, but like that's to tell you how much Joao Cancelo was doing within the first 10 minutes of the match. And of course, he would end up going on to win the man of the match performance, but it was totally deserved. On the 4th minute though, after one of his magical runs and dances, he puts in a cross that's perfectly weighted, and who is in the best position to tap it in? It is Marc Bernal. And when I tell you that I am so happy for this player, this is a young kid that was just on his way to rising as a superstar in Barcelona. If you recall, last season, he was, you know, the starting midfielder for Barcelona before he ended up getting that ACL injury that kept him out for a very, very long time, over a year. And then when he came back, Barcelona, they took their time to reintegrate him back into the squad because, again, we want him with us for the next foreseeable future. We're not trying to rush his return. And to see that, you know, within the last, I want to say 3 La Liga match days, he's now gotten himself 2 goals in 3 games. Sensational stuff. I am so happy for him. And notwithstanding, he did have a great game in midfield today. He commanded that midfield, partnered with Frenkie de Jong. I felt like the performance that they put in today, it just limited everything that Levante was trying to do in that first half. But also the early blow to Levante also just kind of threw away their game plan. I love the fact that Barcelona, they did not relent. Joao Cancelo kept it. It was hot. It was hot. I would say that I was a little bit disappointed here and there because we did create a lot of chances that we did not finish. There was that one header for that I think it was Lamine Yamal who put in the ball into the box, or maybe Koundé from that side. I felt like if Rafinha had just let that header for Robert Lewandowski, it would have been a second goal to Barcelona. But, that didn't happen. And then there was also that chance where Barcelona had, maybe I think Dani Olmo had been fouled just at the edge of the box. The entire Levante defender switch off entirely, even though the referee did not blow for the foul. Rafinha takes the ball. I felt like he could have done a little bit better to beat the keeper. He did not do that. It kind of makes a mess of it. It falls to Robert Lewandowski. It was very an awkward angle for Robert Lewandowski, so ended up going over the bar. These are just two moments where I thought that Barcelona could have done better with the ball, and honestly, we should have. But then we did end up to score a second goal, and let me tell you, this one is like an eclipse. This goal is like a rare planetary moment. I've been seeing like a lot of news that there's going to be a solar, moment on February 28th. This goal is just equal to that situation. Like when I tell you that a Frankie de Jong goal it happens once in the blue moon, and it's not something that should be, because like before Frankie de Jong scored this goal, let me tell you, I was frustrated with him, and not anything particularly wrong per se, but because he just doesn't like to shoot. Frankie de Jong takes the ball, makes a 30-yard dash with the ball, gets closer to the box, and I'm like, Frankie de Jong, these defenders, they keep backing off and backing off and backing off. You take the shot. And the reason why I was frustrated when he passed the ball, which was the good decision, but the reason why I was frustrated with that was every time we're in training and we see Frankie de Jong can shoot. He really can, but for some reason he just doesn't like to shoot during the real games. He prefers to pass the ball. So that was one moment where I felt like, Frankie de Jong, take the shot. He didn't do that on that occasion. So when again Joao Cancelo is dancing and weaving and moving his magic, and then he puts a cross in the box, and guess who's there to meet it? Frankie de Jong. I was gobsmacked. I was stunned. I was shooked. This is a rare sighting. Frankie de Jong in and amongst the goals. Very rare thing. Listen, you guys don't understand. If you're not a Barca fan, probably you're like, what's the big deal? I think I saw statistics that said Frankie de Jong's first goal in over 1,000 minutes. It's that rare. And honestly, it shouldn't be, because he does have a shot on him. He just doesn't like to shoot. I don't know why. Frankie de Jong shoot more, but I was so excited when he scored. And he did have a good game. I just saw before coming on here to record this video, he got a 10/10 rating on SofaScores. So that's how impactful, I'm personally, I'm someone who doesn't rate SofaScores, but I do think that they did get it right today. Frankie de Jong was sensational, and then the goal, cap it to boot. Like at this point in the game, I felt like we were cruise control. There were still so many opportunities, and there were a few chances for Levante in that first half. Don't get it twisted. They did come forward, I think, about 2 times, and every time they did come forward, it did require a save from Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia's clean sheet was something that I really wanted, because I think up until this game he had only 9 clean sheets, so I really wanted him to get into the double figures as well. So he did do good in protecting the ball when he really needed to. That was very, very good. We did go into the half with Barcelona leading 2-0. Again, the question was, were there going to be those scenarios where we've seen Barcelona play one good half and then switch off in the other half? Usually it does happen that Barcelona switch up in the first half and then plays well in the second half, but in this scenario where they started out very good, was there the tendency for them to switch off? That was going to be answered very quickly when Barcelona came out guns blazing in the second half. There was no switch up. Again, we do recognize the moment. It was a chance for us to return to the top of La Liga after 2 uneventful match days away. So we really had to take our opportunities and run with it. We did end up having more chances where I felt like we could have done better with the ball. The good thing about it was that we did leave Levante very, very pressed into their own half. Credit to Levante for everything that they did. They did not drop their head. They did help their shape a little bit more. They were even made Barcelona had to take 2-3 more passes than needed for them to complete a move. So there was that situation where Barcelona had a counter-attacking situation, and then it did end up falling to Lewandowski, to Rafinha, and then Rafinha wanting to take the shot, and then the player does end up cutting it out. Those are the kind of defensive things that I felt like were very good from a Levante performance. They did do their part. There was another situation where Barcelona did come forward. This time again, another counter-attacking scenario. It was Rafinha, it was Lewandowski, it was Dani Olmo with a shot, but then it just was very soft because again we had too many passing sequences, making Barcelona dig deep to be able to find that final outlet again because they refused to be dragged out of shape. I did see Lewandowski trying his best to like do some runs that would elongate the defense, but they stayed very compact. I am very sad for Lewandowski though that he did finish this game without a goal. He did deserve one. He did have a shot there, I think in the second half. It was very tame, very weak. But again, every time I think about it, it does come back to that header that Rafinha did end up taking away from him. We did see some changes in this match for Barcelona. We did see the introduction of Barcelona's darling, Pedri. And the Camp Nou did let him know that they love him. I think that Pedri is Barcelona's most loved player at this point. I really do, because when he got up to warm up, there was screams, and when he did get up to come into the match, it was live. I was happy for him. Of course, Pedri has been out injured for quite some time now, so seeing him back on the pitch with the boys, sensational stuff. Ferran Torres is coming to the game, and of course, we did have Fermin Lopez's introduction. And let me tell you, and as you guys know, if you've watched my videos for any length of time now, you know I highly rate Fermin Lopez. And as this game developed, I knew that it was only a matter of time before we saw something from Fermin Lopez. And one of the things I love about Fermin Lopez, I think every Barcelona fan loves this about Fermin Lopez, is his ability to hit it, especially on days like this when the opponent is determined to sit into a low block, they're determined to kind of frustrate your passing motions or block those passing lines and stuff like that. Because again, that was what Levante was doing. We did take some time to see Fermin Lopez had his first crack at goal. That one, it did end up going to a corner, but it was just a tip of the iceberg, like a teaser of what we were supposed to see from Fermin Lopez. I don't think that any of us recognized it in the moment that was coming, but then when Barcelona did have a corner, I want to say, yeah, Fermin Lopez picks the ball way out of the box, and he just sidesteps a few just to get himself set. And when I tell you he hits it, it goes in off the inside corner of the post, and then it's just the most, like, it's an out of nowhere kind of goal. It's the most Fermin kind of goal. Like, it's a rocket, it's a golazo. I said on my TikTok, which by the way, if you're not following me on TikTok, you're missing out on a whole lot of content that I don't even post here. But I said on TikTok, Fermin Lopez, you're a madman. Because where did you see that from? How did you see that space? How did you see that angle? Fermin Lopez is not a man of patience. He's looked at the whole game progress for 10 minutes and he said, you guys are passing too much. I just want to finish. And he finished in the most Fermin Lopez kind of way. And Barcelona at this point, at the 81st minute, were leading 3-0. Obviously, we've now secured the win. We're going back to the top of La Liga. But one of the things that I wanted from this game, just to wrap it up in a nice little bow, was Joao Garcia's clean sheet. Of course, we know we did end up conceding 4 against Atletico Madrid, 2 against Girona. So having that clean sheet would just help with boosting those confidence. Barcelona did manage to hold off defensively, and at fair, we did limit Girona by a lot. They did only have 5 shots in the entire match, 2 on target. So they didn't really test him as much as they could have. So I'm so happy that we did end up getting that clean sheet. So honorable mention to Joao Garcia and the entire backline today for, you know, sticking to their guns and doing their jobs very well. All of this to say, Barcelona are now top of La Liga, 1 point ahead of Real Madrid, where we so deservedly should be. I'm so excited for what I saw today, the response after those 2 horrendous performances, and now we're back into cruise control. Of course, it was Joao Cancelo, man of the match for Barcelona, but I do want to highlight Frenkie de Jong, Marc Bernal, Fermin Lopez, who were also the goal scorers in this match, and of course Joao Cancelo as some of the people who stood out to me in this match. I was so excited to watch them. Let me know who stood out for you in the comment section, and if you've watched my video up until this point, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this game. Let me know what you think about my analysis as well, and if you loved my video, please don't forget to subscribe and share it to somebody else. Like I said, I would love to grow this channel with you. But until next time, bye guys, and of course, Vishka Vasa.